Hi, today's lesson is on Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead. So I'm looking at the acoustic guitar part which goes through the whole song. It's an amazing song. It's from an amazing album called The Bends, which you should definitely listen to if you haven't. And it's quite simple to play as well. There's actually 7 chords in it, which sounds like quite a lot for a simple song. But some of these chords are very easy to play, and one of them only appears just once right near the end. So before we start, I'm just going to quickly run through the actual chords that are involved in the song. So we've got an A chord. Now A you would normally probably play like that, or that. I recommend using these 3 fingers in this song for the A chord. So that's all in the 2nd fret, we've got the 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, and you play 5. Then we've got A sus4, which is the same thing, but the little finger moves across to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now the next chord is a bit of a strange one. It's hard to name this one. I think I'd probably call it a D major 7 over F sharp, but it doesn't really matter too much. So the little finger goes back to where it was for the A. 2nd finger moves across to the 6th string. And what's happening there is I'm actually muting the A string. This finger's touching it from above. Now it's actually difficult not to mute that A string, so you probably won't have to really try very hard to do that. But the D string's open, so we've got 2nd fret, muted, open, 2nd fret, 2nd fret, open. It's quite an unusual chord. A band that uses that chord a lot is Turin Brakes. If you're familiar with those songs, then you'll have heard that chord. And Radiohead, but I don't know any other bands that I can think of that use that chord. But it sounds really good. Then we've got an E6. Now E6 is a basic E chord plus your 4th finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So I've got open, 2, 2, 1, 2, open. I've got D sus2 next. D sus2 you might have played before like this. A D without that finger, but for this song these 2 fingers are the best ones to use. So I've got my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and I play 4 strings, so I'm missing out the thickest 2, miss those out. So we've got open, 2, 3, open. Okay, then we've got a B minor 7 add 11, which is the chord I just played, but with 2nd finger added on the 5th string, 2nd fret, and now I'll just miss the low E. So I've got 2, 0, 2, 3, 0. And then the last one, this is a chord that only appears once in the song. You could kind of miss this out, but if you want to be exact, then this does appear. It's an A major 7. Again, it's one you might have played before, but it's probably a slightly different fingering in this song. What I need to do is go from the A to this. So I've moved my 3rd finger to where my 2nd is on the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then the 2nd finger goes to the 1st fret of the 3rd string. So I've got nothing on the E, miss that one out. Open, 2, 1, 2, open. So that's all of the chords in the song. Okay, so the song's in 2 sections really. There's just 2 parts to it. I suppose it's kind of a verse and a chorus, you could say. Look at the first section and then I'll look at the second section, and there's a slight variation on that one right near the end, but very subtle. So the first sequence, we've got A sus4, D major 7 over F sharp, E6, D sus2, A, D sus2. And in terms of the rhythm for this, with the right hand, for most of the song you can do the sort of quite a simple rhythm, which is this. If I just demonstrate with the strings muted, I'll do down, 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 up. But after the first down, I'm doing what you call like a ghost movement, where I move my hand down but don't hit the strings. So I'll just demonstrate that. Okay, you want to do 3 of those like this. And then after those 3, there's a slightly busier strumming pattern, which would be this. So that was down, up, down, 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 up. So that whole thing was. No, you don't have to be exact with this, and it's not necessarily exactly that all the way through the song, but it's roughly that. And the main thing is that this arm just keeps moving and it's kind of relaxed. So I'll play through the sequence with that strum pattern, just to give you the idea of when the changes come in. And that's the first sequence. Okay, so the second sequence, which I suppose you could call it the chorus, if you think of where we ended the first sequence on the D sus2, then what happens when it changes to, because it repeats the first sequence, but then when they go to the second sequence, you're on the D sus2 and you go to the B minor 7 add 11, and that's the one where we just keep that chord and add that one finger there. It's just a really easy change. And you play that chord and then the A chord, and that's the chorus sequence, just those 2 chords. So I'll just demonstrate that a few times round to show you how that works. Okay, and when they're then going back to a verse again, there's a little quick A sus4 that he does just to lead back into the verse. So I'll just play that second sequence before it would come back to the verse. And then you enter the next verse. And then later in the song it goes around that several times. I haven't counted how many, but it's quite a lot, just those 2 chords. Okay, and that's really the whole song. The only extra thing to think about is right near the end of the song, and when they're playing round and round on that chord sequence, the 2 chord sequence for the chorus, so the B minor 7 add 11 to the A, just once he changes the A halfway through to an A major 7. So you could either do the usual way, or you can do how I demonstrated it earlier. So I'll just play that one sequence for you, followed by, actually I'll play it 3 times. I'll play the standard sequence, then I'll play the one with the A major 7, and then I'll play the standard one afterwards. Okay, so hopefully you could hear the difference there. It's really nice, but it only happens once. And that's everything in the song. When I was playing the chorus part, I was just demonstrating it with the same strum pattern I used for the verse. You can mix it up a little bit. As long as that arm just keeps moving in a relaxed way but doesn't stop, then you can sort of vary that strum, which they do a little bit on the song. So have a go at playing along with the whole song, master the 2 sections first, and then try and put it all together and play along with it. Great song, really nice part that goes all the way through. Any questions, please put them in the comments, and if you want to suggest any other songs you'd like to see lessons on, then please do. If you like this one, please click like, and if you haven't already subscribed, then please do. Okay, thanks.